Hi, I'm back. Hello, 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 everybody. Hope you're all doing well, and I hope the weather is treating you well as well. It's been in the high 60s for most of the day today up here. It's very nice. Although it's also been raining on and off, so unfortunately I can't really step outside to enjoy it just yet. Yep, she's back, and she's a bat. I'm a bat who is back. Yay! Nice. Yeah, it was nice to take a week off of everything. I feel like November is turning out to be the kind of month where, like, I'm just gonna be waiting for stuff to happen. Like, not just with, like, the console stuff for Freedom Planet 2, but for VTuber stuff, artists I'm commissioning, and I don't really have anything going on other than, I have to go into town, later this month for an oil change and, regular vehicle maintenance. 10 points for landing. Yay! Oh, yes, I see you have seen my new channel point redeem. Wah. Yeah, I had to redeem 400 points for a bird guard. Wah. Wah. My wings are a little erratic. I might have to adjust that. One moment, please. Okay, there we go. Let's try this. Let's do 7-1. Oops. Yeah, I'm sitting a little farther back than I usually do, so I've got room. And that kind of maybe I need to recalibrate actually. Let me try that. Like that, maybe? Question mark? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's still a few lingering glitches that we'll address at some point. Yeah, I've noticed for a couple of the bosses in the Battlesphere, early, presumably because the boss, like, occasionally will move outside of the range of the arena, and when it does that, the game assumes that the boss is defeated. Yeah, yeah. So, you might remember Lunistis, the game I played with the cute raccoon with the steppy feet noise, that I really liked. That's gonna come out, like the full version, on Thursday. I can't wait. I want to play the whole thing because I really enjoyed the demo. So I slotted 2 days for that later this week. I wish the dev the best of luck. If I'm not mistaken, it's coming out on PC and on Nintendo Switch at the same time. Yeah, they made it. I'm so happy for them. Like, apparently there were going to be like 5 different characters to pick from, but they settled on 3, which I think is a fair call, because the more characters you add, the more you have to kind of account for their unique abilities, assuming that they have different behaviors and stuff. Oh my gosh, yeah. I didn't even know there was going to be that many characters to begin with. Like, just the main Red Panda Girl. Like, if the final game only had the Red Panda Girl, I would have been like 100% happy. So it's really cool that there are multiple characters. Oh my gosh, I'm so hyped. I'm also really interested to see what Sonic Frontiers is going to be like. I might not get it right away, because I have other things that I'm focusing on right now. But yeah, I might be interested in snagging it. I'm especially interested to see what like the modding scene for the PC version is going to be like, because supposedly this Sonic controls very well in the open world environment, and just like I can just like imagine him being swapped out with other characters. That would be so cool. Oh yes, it's Lunestis. Thank you, Alyula, for typing in the name. They actually have a Steam page. Let me see if I can bring that up. Store.steampowered.com. Lunestis. There's a demo on Steam as well. But whoops. There you go. Feel free to wishlist. Yeah, Sonic Forces is. I've been hearing some. Well, as expected, I've been hearing mixed reviews, but mostly positive. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, oh my goodness. I checked the front page for Freedom Planet 2 the other day, and we're over 700 reviews now. That's amazing. Like 700 reviews in just a few months, compared to the original Freedom Planet, which has 2,400 reviews. But that's been over like 7 years, 8 years. Like over 8 years, Freedom Planet 1 got 2,400 reviews, and Freedom Planet 2 is approaching half of that within just a few months. So that's really awesome. I'm so happy. Planning to continue Freedom Planet 2 tomorrow during stream from my buddies. Currently completed 2 out of 3 arcs in the second half of the game. Awesome! I hope you enjoy the third arc and the rest of the game as well. Yeah, like, I'm happy that Sonic Team was able to take their time this time, because it seems like they would be more inclined to like recycle an old concept if they were under crunch like usual, like the usual 2 to 3 year dev cycle. But they took longer this time, and I think it paid off from what I've seen. Like, supposedly, like, the cyberspace levels just straight up recycle a lot of, like, art and level design from Sonic Generations, which is really interesting. But yeah, I'm really happy that, like, people are enjoying, like the fishing minigame as well. Like, it's cool that Big got to come back in a sense. And the fishing mechanic has been refined in a way that works much better than the original, than Sonic Adventure. Like, just in general, it feels like they're really going after the Sonic Adventure fans this time around. I'm all for it. What is a Sonic game without flaws? I heard some wise words once. Like, in terms of, as far as game design is concerned, flaws. Style are the flaws that you choose to keep. That's your style. You love the prologue animation? Oh yeah, the Knuckles prologue. Oh, I loved that so much. Oh, thank you, Joker, for the ear scratches. Oh, so nice. Oh my gosh, yeah. The Knuckles prologue. It was immaculately animated, and I could tell that, like, Tyson really enjoyed being able to approach a more serious style with his team's animations. And I really liked kind of it was just a straight up direct callback to the original Sonic Adventure. Yeah, Knuckles felt like he had purpose again. It's been a while. Oh, thank you, Argo, for the Freedom Planet Factory Deem. Ahem. Did you know Mila can dig in the second game by pressing the attack button while crouching? It serves no functional purpose whatsoever. It's purely an Easter egg this time around. Like the digging, like there were dig spots in the first game where you could dig up items, but in the sequel that would have been a little bit too convoluted. So we decided to make it a purely an aesthetic thing. Yeah, cute stuff. The dig exists. Although I have been worried that players might like accidentally dig when they're trying to do something else. So I hope that isn't too much of a problem. Oh, thank you, PDL, for the stress reminder. All the pose. Awesome. Thank you. You're still in the middle of your Mila playthrough? Yeah. Ooh, Mila goes through quite the ordeal. But she handles everything like a champ. And I'm still glad at the way that her gameplay turned out. Like it's just a massive glow up in every respect. And it's so, oh yeah, one of our speedrunners is gonna be in GDQ. Like it's been confirmed. And they're gonna play Nira. It's not the main GDQ event. It's like a side event, but that's still really cool. And maybe someday we'll be like a main event in the main Awesome Games Done Quick event. Yeah, I'm so happy. And perhaps there will be commentary by a certain someone. Wink, wink. Like supposedly it's gonna be like 10 p.m. EST, which is a little late for me, but I'll try and make it in some capacity. Hype. It's really interesting how in the original Freedom Planet, yeah, Mila ended up being like the speedrun character. Like I thought Lilac was gonna be like unquestionably the fastest, but she ended up being the slowest. Like Carol is technically a slower character in the first game, but her adventure mode is glitched, so she can...
A little extra for such an awesome game.
Overdrive! Overdrive, what? Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate it so much. And I shall do you proud. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I lost my train of thought. Oh, right, speedrun. So, Carol is technically the slowest character in the first game. However, there are glitches where she can skip, like, 2 whole stages. So her speedrun ends up being faster than Lilac's. Hi, Elfie Faye. Hello. Fairies are here now. And then, of course, I don't know if Carol Run is like actually the fastest, or if Mila has like that much better speedrun tech that the fact that she can't skip her stages doesn't mean anything. I think it's about neck and neck last time I checked. But yeah, Mila can do some crazy speedrun tech in the first game, but it's very technical. And a lot of it involves like holding down the charge button for the block, and then releasing it like the frame that you can. Like a big part of her run is just doing like frame perfect block charges and super shield bursts. And I could see how that would be very like exhausting after a while on your hands. So I'm quite glad that like she just instantly summons cubes in the sequel now. Yeah, because like not only is Trap Hideout a faster stage, like a shorter stage than Pengu Lagoon in the first game, but like Carol can just straight up like skip Relic Maze and I think Fortune Night, which is very oopsie on our part, but what can you do? What can you do? Yeah. She's still kind of a hand destroyer in FB2 because of the mashing required for good DPS. Oh yeah, that too. I mean, couldn't you use like a turbo controller, or is that considered cheating? Oh, 2 runners hurt themselves so far. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope they have recovered. Don't have any rules against turbo controllers? Well, if it means anything coming from the main developer slash producer of the game, I don't consider it cheating. Like, your health should come first, and as long as like the turbo controller can like approximate how rapidly a human can press it, then it's fine. I think it's fine. Like, Freedom Planet would be a full-length or multi-episode film adaptation. Oh my goodness, that would be amazing. Like, I've always kind of daydreamed about like a Freedom Planet cartoon slash anime. But animation is insanely expensive. And not only that, but I feel like animation has like a fewer number of avenues that it can reach an audience. Like with games, you have all sorts of like distribution platforms and like the console developers and stuff. And for animation, although you have like video streaming sites like YouTube, you still kind of have to like push a lot harder to get on like a major network, like a major TV channel or network, compared to how hard you have to work to get a game onto like Nintendo or PlayStation or Xbox. At least that's the impression I get. Like, I have no idea how that process works in terms of like getting a show onto a TV channel. Oh yeah, Cuphead has an animated series. Yeah, Cuphead has been very successful as well, so. But yeah, it looks so good. Yeah, I haven't even played Cuphead yet, but I should do that. I should plan on that. Especially after my grand formal debut. Yeah, I'm really working hard behind the curtains to try and make it happen at the beginning of next year. It would be so perfect. Like, new year, new bat. And it would be just in time for Mega Manuary as well, so I could play through all the Mega Man games in my new form. But of course, I'm not going to crunch anything, so I don't want to set like a specific date yet until I'm absolutely certain. Yeah, the original Freedom Planet 1 could be a home movie on its own. If it were an animated series, like with like episodes and stuff, I imagine the events of Freedom Planet 1 could be like the last like 4 episodes or so, and then the episodes before that could kind of like add some context to Lilac and Carol being in the red scarves. I think that'd be cool. I could also see that being like a sort of graphic novel someday. I think that would be a lot more realistic of a goal, actually. Yeah, it's a fun thought. It's a fun thought. It does remind me of how we originally wanted to have a webcomic back in the Kickstarter days, but that ended up not working out, and I think it was for the best, because we ended up using that money to make the game look prettier. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I've like mentioned this before, like not on stream, but like in our community before. But like, I think one of my goals with like a potential Freedom Planet cartoon series would be to set aside at least a few minutes in each episode to have like a slice of life sort of thing, where the character's doing something mundane. You know, like having a meal or like walking in the park or something like that. Just to help ground the setting in reality and kind of like give some of the background characters a chance to shine. I think that'd be nice. Don't give me hope for a comic comeback. Oh my gosh. It's just wishful thinking at this point. Like, we don't have any plans going on as far as that Freedom Planet stuff is concerned, other than working on the console ports of the sequel. Sippy time. Oh heck, it's not cloudy anymore. Oh, it looks so nice outside my window, gosh. Ah, thank you, Anne, for the ear scratches. Thank you. Oh, feels nice. Scratchy, 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 scratch. And thank you, Rob, for the stretch reminder. Hold the pose. Hydration knife, yeah. Yeah, like, I suppose that's a freebie Freedom Planet fact for you. Did you know that in the first Freedom Planet, originally Mila was going to like permanently die? But that was around the time I started having second thoughts about some of the more violent aspects of the story. So Nira ended up nursing her back to health, fortunately. And like, despite how violent the story can be in the first game, there's only really one like major death, and that is the king in the beginning. Hello, Andy Oman. Welcome to my Chatty Batty stream. We're just keeping it casual today. Are there any plans to release a soundtrack? Yes. Like, the soundtrack was kind of like a collaboration between myself, Woofle, Will, Dusky, and Falk, who did the mixing and mastering for some tracks. I need to get everybody together and talk about how we're gonna handle that, because I feel like there's an expectation with like an official OST release for it to be like lossless quality, and most of the music currently is not like that. So I'm wondering how I can figure that out, because some of the music team has since gone on to focus on other things. So we just kind of have to like get back together and kind of like figure out what we can do. Because there are some, I think it would work if we just like bundle everything together, but like some tracks have don't have like a fade out point, and I feel like we would need those. And I want to make sure that all the tracks loop enough that they're all roughly like the same length, give or take 2 or 3 minutes apiece. Oh my gosh, yeah, I can't even imagine if Mila wasn't in the sequel. And the funny thing is, in the sequel too, I was floating around the idea of Nira dying, but of course that didn't happen either. And I'm glad that she didn't, because her character is just so much better this time around. And oh my gosh, I love Ashlyn's performance as her. Like, I can tell that Ashlyn is like so grateful that Nira ended up being a main character. Yeah, I can tell she had fun with the role. And I'm very glad. No. Nira did not die. But it was one of the early ideas that I had before we brought in the writing staff. Come to think of it, I don't think anyone actually dies in the sequel. Yeah, no. I mean, other than robots, obviously, but... Yeah, I love Nira's dynamic with the team in Freedom Planet 2. Like, she is my favorite of the protagonists. Just because I'm biased, because I have a soft spot. I have a soft spot for her because like she was the only one that was 100% created by me. But yeah, I just love her dynamic. Like, she's like a supporting leader type, kind of like Torque was in the original Freedom Planet, but like her deadpan nature just like contrasts so well with everybody. She kind of like keeps everybody grounded in reality. No, Torque died on the way back to his home planet. He's still alive. But of course, like there's no like real mention of him in the sequel. He's just kind of doing his own thing, fighting the good fight against Lord Brevin's forces out in outer space somewhere. Rummy, hello. Welcome to our chill Chatty Batty stream. Oh, it's been wild the past few months. Oh gosh. Yeah, we had a big Freedom Planet 2 release, and we're up to over 700 reviews on Steam. That's amazing. We've been doing very well compared to the first game, and I hope we can climb ever higher, especially once the console versions come out in the summer next year. Right now, I'm basically kind of just like waiting for things to happen. Like in terms of like waiting for our publisher to get a few things rolling so that we can finish up the console ports, and then after that we have to spend a few months submitting them to like Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft, and then hopefully everything will be ready by then. I think they will. I'm pretty confident. Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, our fandom came out in full force after release, and like September was the best month that we've ever had, like in terms of like all of our games. So I'm very grateful for that. And thanks to that, we are able to like really get the ball rolling on some other projects that we want to work on, and some other stuff that we want to help out with, like in terms of like publishing stuff. Oh my gosh, I am super excited to play Freedom Planet 2 on Switch. It's like the perfect mobile game. I've heard that it works quite flawlessly on the Steam Deck. I don't have a Steam Deck personally. I'm thinking about getting one. Depends on how much traveling I do. Like, it'd be handy to have if I ever go on like the next time we go on a convention trip or something, or if I just travel for leisure, which I really want to do now that I have like actual money. I'd love to like travel to the West Coast and like see a bunch of my friends and have kind of an informal like Freedom Planet 2 team meetup, and like we could all go out and have a release party, like an informal release party. I think that'd be really fun, as long as it's safe to travel. Oh my gosh, yeah. I was thinking that if the secret achievements are to go through the story in Battle Orb at Rainbow Rank S, I'm not sure I understand. Oh, no. The Rainbow S rank is purely for posterity. There are no badges tied to it. One of the hidden badges is that you have to clear a Bakunawa stage with 2 Bravestones equipped and no potions. And I think one of the other ones is that that you have to beat Murga in Palace Courtyard. I can't remember. Yeah, September was one of the months of all time. Oh yeah, nice. Your friend of yours bought it on Impulse and it runs well on the Steam Deck. Sweet. Kind of silly question. Do you want to see Freedom Planet characters appear in some other indie games? Actually, they have. Lilac is in Runbow and Super Indie Carts. Carol is also in Super Indie Carts. Nira is going to be in, I forget the name. It's based on One Step from Eden, but it's like a multiplayer spin-off. Oh yes, Duelists of Eden. Yeah, the main dev has been posting like videos of like some of the testers like having matches together, and he snuck in a little preview of Niera. There will be a formal announcement at some point in the future, and then at that point I'll signal boost. But yeah, she looks really good in the Duelists of Eden style. Like her gameplay kind of looks like she's kind of like based on like laying traps down for the opponent and stuff, and kind of like projectile based. It's really interesting to watch. Oh, Remy, you did go through and get the secret ending? Nice. Oh yeah, that's the other spoiler item, the other hidden badge. Right, thank you, Anne. Yeah, there's another a hidden badge where if you equip, you get it if you equip no petals and crystals to petals at the same time, and they kind of cancel each other out in a very interesting way. Oh, you did play it on Linux, Voyevsky, and it works? Awesome. Yeah, like, I was a little iffy about that. Like, I didn't know if it would work on Linux, but I'm glad to hear it does. I do want to, at some point, like, see how, like, the Unity, like, straight up exporting it to Linux in the Unity build would work. Hopefully it works well. Oh yeah, Lilac is also an indie pogo. It's kind of like a Super Smash Bros.-esque platform fighter, but it has like an interesting gimmick where like you're always constantly jumping. Like basically every single platform and floor and surface is a trampoline. Yeah, I bought Super IndyCar to play as Carol too, and then later Lilac. I do feel like the kart physics in Super IndyCar are a little difficult to get used to at first because it's kind of like slippery compared to like a Mario Kart type game. But it's quite fun how they've I think it's really cool how each character retains the original art style of the game they came from, but like the team added like a ton of frames of rotation, so it looks really neat. Is it difficult handling the licensing stuff when it comes to character cameos in other games? It can be, especially with regards to Lilac, Carol, and Mila, because we don't 100% own them. But any other character is much easier. Like, it was no problem giving permission for the Duelists of Eden dev to include Niera. And then, of course, presumably, if there are other characters that cameo in other games, such as like Murga or Corazon or or Captain Clow or anything like that, it would also be similarly easier. Sippy. My throat's already getting kind of scratchy. Like, I've been trying really hard not to talk in like a more like nasally voice, because I think that makes my vocal cords vibrate more intensely. Yeah, I'm trying to like talk more softly in general, so that way I don't strain my voice as much as I have been in my past streams. But yeah, I guess the only real solution is to make sure that I've got a hot beverage with me before I stream. And I was surprised to learn that whispering does not help. If anything, it makes it worse. Oh my gosh, yeah, one step from Eden. Like, I really dig the Battle Network vibes as well. I'd love to play through the Battle Network series on stream as well. I've only played entirely through the first game, and I got like halfway through the second game. I've heard that Battle Network 3 is like the GOAT, the greatest of all time, but I shall see someday. And with the Battle Network collection coming out soon, that makes things even more convenient. Yeah, crystals to petals and petals to crystals. Petals to crystals, I believe in game is called no petals. Yeah, I can't remember which stages you find. I can't remember which stage you find that bravestone in. But every bravestone, I believe, except for one hit KO, is found in a treasure chest. I know, Elfie. I missed that opportunity to call the badge for that pedal crash. That would have been so fun. Yeah, I've heard fabulous things about wine in terms of allowing Linux players to play like Windows games. Oh yeah, right, the Bacchanal Rush, the shield crystal that you unavoidably hit at the beginning if you have items to bombs equipped and one hit KO, the level is impossible. Yeah, we gotta address that somehow. I think it'd be fun to like just have like a very specific exception for that one stage. But I'll think of something. Dead Cells uses actual 3D models for 2D sprites. Makes animating 2D sprites much easier. Oh yeah, I've heard of some games that do that. Like, they'll just straight up have 3D models, but then they will translate the model into like a 2D render texture so it looks like a sprite. And give it like a choppy animation to match. Oh, thank you, Alula, for the redeem. Okay, time for Bird Guard. Wah. Nice seeing this stream. Also nice to see some of y'all again too, chat. I gotta get ready for my trip around the US. Oh, awesome. Hope you have fun, Rami. Thank you for stopping by. Depending on where you're going, I might have some recommendations for things you can check out. I'm most familiar with San Antonio, Texas, but I have also been to some cool places in Seattle. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a lovely trip when the time comes. Oh, how did I come up with the design of the Aqua Troopers? It's kind of funny. They were based on. Okay, well, I suppose you could call this another freebie Freedom Planet fact. Did you know? The Aqua Troopers, their sprite was based off a sprite that I made for a really old RPG project that I never finished. I quite liked the look of one of the monsters that I had made for that. It was kind of like a lava sentinel type of monster. And I just turned the lava into water, and I got Tyson Tan's assistance, adding some like extra details and like going for more of an like an avian look for their legs and tails and stuff. And from there, we got the Aqua Troopers, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. Very unique. Yeah, I really want to get like professional vocal training at some point so that I can learn how to better like speak in a way that doesn't like completely fry my voice in a couple hours. And I also need to work on like making my voice sound more feminine, because it's something that I have been self-conscious about. Like in short spurts, I can do better, but my main priority with my streams is to make sure that I don't strain my voice too much. So it's gonna take practice, but I'll get there slowly and surely. And I'll have a voice that is as cute as possible. And for those who already think my voice is cute, I'll just make it cuter. Any ideas about Freedom Planet 3? Oh my gosh, I can't even think about Freedom Planet 3 right now. Right now, my main focus is on the console versions of Freedom Planet 2. And then after that, I want to help a few friends with other things. And then also achieve my dream of making a 3D racing game. Of course, that game would be smaller in scale than Freedom Planet 2, so I suspect it won't take like 7 or 8 years to complete. You've been doing the silent banshee method of feminizing your voice. Oh yeah, is that the thing where you go like where you pretend you're a vampire and you just go like wah, and then you kind of keep your voice up there? That helped me a lot in the beginning. Oh, thank you, Ultim Swag, for the Freedom Planet Fact redeem. Okay. Did you know Brevon's Dreadnought in Freedom Planet 1 was modeled in Spore? Yes, the game. The source file for it is sadly long gone, but an experienced Spore player could recreate the ship exactly how it looks in Freedom Planet. Yep. Oh, Battle Network 6 is also highly praised for like the competitive metagame. That's really interesting. I'm really happy to hear that there's going to be online capabilities in the Battle Network collection. Because that was one of the coolest things about Battle Network, is just being able to play, being able to fight your friends with the decks that you've accumulated. On the flip side, whispering hurting just as much does mean you can train silently. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, like once you get used to it, like once you familiarize yourself with all of the different muscles in your throat, you can learn how to move them without actually speaking. And like I've learned, I know how to so after so much practice, now I can just like raise my larynx by itself without having to do the swallow motion. I never thought that would be possible, but the things you learn. Oh, you remember playing the 2 Perusa arcs? Yeah, the volcano level is quite intense. I have heard of Beyblade, and fun fact, I guess this is another freebie of our Freedom Planet fact. Did you know, when I was coming up for the design of Carol's jump disc, I did look up photos of Beyblades as a reference point. Oh yeah, I've vaguely heard of Bakugan. Like my nephew was like super into it for a while, but I'm not familiar with it. I don't really understand how the game works. Nice. Oh, Corey with the same colors as Ruby Rose. That would be interesting. Oh, don't apologize, Alyula. It doesn't really hurt my throat that much, because it's just a quick wah. It's just a quick wah. And that's it.
For making my favorite game, and the game that surpassed it.
New Junior. What? What? Ah! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Oh, thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your support, and I will use that money to continue our work, and I hope we'll continue to make you proud. Thank you very much. I am honored. Oh, unused invincibility theme in Freedom Planet 2. Yeah, like Freedom Planet 1 was going to have a different invincibility theme, but somebody pointed out to me that it sounded almost exactly like the theme for Reboot. So I decided to err on the side of caution and leave it unused. And I thought about bringing it back for the invincibility crystals, which are something you only see in Freedom Planet 2 if you have the Rainbow Charm equipped. But in the final game, it doesn't interrupt the stage music, which I personally think that's for the best, because the stage music slaps very hard. Oh, thank you, Rob, for the hydration reminder. Sippy time. Ah, very delicious. Delicioso. Vocal training where Spacey learns to scream. Yeah. We believe you can do it. Thank you, Zerter. I do have voice acting friends who could probably help point me in the right direction of somebody who is good with like training voices. Like, you have muscles in your throat, and just like the muscles on your arms and your legs and stuff, you just need to exercise them in the proper way, and then they'll get stronger. You could do you can do a lot of very cool things with your voice that most people aren't aware of. Like, a lot of people feel like they're locked into the voice that they have as an adult for the rest of their lives, other than like quick imitations of characters. But you can do a lot with it if you put your mind to it. And I think that's like the core essence of like professional voice acting. It's really cool to see like the range that like my voice acting friends have, like how like they can just like with the snap of the fingers they can switch from like a deep sultry voice to like a high-pitched cartoon character. And it doesn't even sound like them. In your experience, Aaron's singing challenging songs helps. I should try that. Maybe just have like a silly karaoke stream where I don't even care about staying on pitch. But I'll try my hardest to do so. Yeah. Yeah, the Aqua Troopers do kind of look like a cross between an eel and like a weasel. Oh, the 3D racing game? I don't think I should elaborate further, because I don't want to spoil anything. But we have started on it, and we're doing like preliminary engine stuff, like game engine stuff. Fat strats. Oh gosh, I'm really behind, aren't I? Okay, green substance on Brevon's blade. Is it a poison or a mutagen? That's like a corrosive acid that increases its cutting power. Okay, Crash Team Racing is fun. Yes, I agree, Anne. Beyblade, run it, rip. Wah. Oh, now I'm now just getting to the $100 stuff. Oh, thank you again, Noob Junior. And thank you, Captain Squishmallow, for the follow. I appreciate it. We're just having a chill stream today. Chatting with the bat. Chatting with the Battle Tally. Supersonic. Supersonic racing. I hope that the stars align for us for this racing game to like have like vocals. I think that'd be fun. It depends on how much that sort of thing costs. I'm only really familiar with like I did have a hand in setting things up for Pedal Crash's theme song, like the vocals. That was a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind doing that again for a few more songs. Yeah, Dawn did an amazing job as Lilac, reprising her role for the sequel. Oh my gosh. Oh, hello, Gungurfin. Hope you're doing well today. Don't remember if you asked it or not, but it seemed to you alone that Escal looked like Dwayne Johnson. He does kind of look like Dwayne Johnson. Oh, you are beautiful, loving the vibes. Oh, thank you, Squishmallow. Thank you. I actually haven't had a formal debut yet, but I'm currently in the process of commissioning a brand spanking new model. It's kind of like a reimagining of Spacey Balotelli. And I'm gonna have a new layout and some new artwork. I can't wait. It's gonna take a couple months, but I think it'll be worth the wait. I'm gonna have so much fun with it. Oh my goodness. Will this upcoming racing game have a story? I think it would, even if it's just like background context. Once upon a time, everyone went fast. Oh, you're up in the mountains, Gungurfin. Nice. Like, are you at a high enough altitude to where, like, it looks foggy, but it's just because you're at the same height as the clouds? Because the last time I took a trip, I went to Washington State, and I got to be in like that kind of mountainy area where you're at the same height as the clouds. It was really interesting. Hello, Gray Stripe. Welcome. We're just having a chill chat. Not sure Sabrina's supposed to talk about GT's next game. Yeah. Like, I can, like, because I've already said in the past that I really want to work on a racing game next, so that's not a secret. But, yeah, I gotta be careful, because there was a stream, like, last month, I think, where, like, I had to delete the VOD because I spilled too many beans. So yeah, just gotta be careful. Freedom Planet 2 with a GameCube controller. Freedom Planet 2, I wonder if the GameCube could support a game as big as Freedom Planet 2. I think it could. That'd be really interesting. Your opinion on Spark the Electric Gesture? He's a good yellow bean. I haven't actually like played the games yet, but I've been keeping an eye on the series since the original game. I like even before that, like I remember playing through like Sonic fan games, and I could see like how that kind of like inspired his like manner of game design. It's really good seeing how far he's come, and like I've heard absolutely stellar things about Spark the Electric Gesture 3. So I think it'd be fun sometime to like play through all the Spark games, just like have a Spark weekend. Maybe next year. Flagstaff, Arizona, clear weather. Oh, nice. Yeah, the weather was kind of cloudy here, but now it's a clear sky and it's almost 70 degrees in November. It's so nice. I think like the first thing I'm gonna do after I'm done streaming is just like step outside and soak in the air for a while. Oh, thank you for the suggestion, Buff Bike Foo. I have not played Hot Wheels Acceleracers, but I shall keep that in mind. Oh, you beat Freedom Planet 2 with the Duke controller? Nice. I remember the Duke. Like I remember my older brother and I bought an original Xbox like the day it came out. And well, it came with 2 Duke controllers, and we spent all night with the lights off, playing Halo. That was so much fun. I have fond memories of Halo multiplayer, like old school Halo multiplayer. Oh, thank you for the ear scratches. Thank you so much. It feels nice. I've heard things about Spark's story. I've heard that it's a trip. So I'm intent on not spoiling myself. I want to go in blind and see how I feel about it. Monster Rancher 2. I can't say I've played any of the Monster Rancher games, but I remember the original Monster Rancher. The one with the yellow guy with the eyeball. Hello, Slacks. This late in fall, yeah, it is nice weather. Like, where I live, peak fall is like the first week or 2 in October. That's when the leaves have turned color, but they haven't really fallen from the trees yet. Literally one of the most beautiful places on earth. Like, you just drive down the road through the forest, and you see just like a whole palette of like reds and oranges and yellows. Oh, it's so beautiful. I made sure to get the most of that while it lasted. Peak colors last like 3 or 4 days tops, and then the red leaves start falling first, and then the yellow, and then pretty much just orange dangling on the trees. Spacey Bat touching grass. Yeah, I touch grass all the time. Yeah, the Duke is huge. It really amuses me that Xbox actually brought back the Duke as kind of a novelty. Like, I've heard that you can actually buy new Duke controllers for like the Xbox Series X and stuff. Oh, thank you for the scritches. Thank you, Alia. Oh, sorry, I keep butchering your name. It kind of twists my Betty tongue. Alula. Okay, Alula, right? Yeah. Or I could just call you Caster, if you're fine with that. Acceleracers isn't a game, it's an animated film series. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been meaning to watch more like racing stuff to kind of get in the mindset. I haven't seen well, I've seen like 15 minutes of like the 2008 Speed Racers movie, but I want to see the whole thing. Like, it was panned when it first came out, but I've heard it's become something of a cult classic. I also heard that Redline is really good, so that is also on my bucket list for things to watch. Took you 6 lives to beat most of the producer levels, running on Steam Deck in the log cabin. It's quite alright. Yeah, like depending on like the system that you're using and the control setup. Hope your doggos are doing okay. Paige is sleeping right now. She's in the bed, right beside my workstation. Sammy, I believe, is taking a nap on the couch in the living room. They haven't actually barked a lot today. Usually somebody will walk by the front window and that gets them in a frenzy. But today has been quite quiet. Just a quiet, lazy Sunday. Replace all the Freedom Planet 1 music to almost all Halo music. Nice. I'm kind of reminded of like the contrast between both Sonic CD soundtracks and how
I didn't realize you were live. Hi, Spacey.
Hi, Syntax. Hello. Thank you for the subscription. Hope you enjoy the batty emotes and the puppy emotes. And of course, ad-free streaming here at the Spacey Battle Telly channel. Yeah, like just Small Wolf mentioning like replacing the Freedom Planet OST with something more atmospheric. It reminds me of how like the US version of Sonic CD has a more atmospheric soundtrack. It's kind of weird how they handled that, and like I personally don't agree with it, but it did give us two fantastic soundtracks that have their own unique takes on the levels. So it's really interesting how that turned out. Like you can hear you can hear not only the stylistic differences between each musician, but kind of like what they felt the context was for each of the time periods. Jerboas. I've heard of Jerboas vaguely, but I can't remember what they look like. So they're basically like kangaroo rats. Are they like the mouse that has like really long like stick legs and they jump around and stuff? It might be fun to have a Freedom Planet styled character like that. Kangarat. Oh, yep. I think that'd be a fun like speedrun type character where like they run really fast on the ground and like you would hold the jump button and you'd be able to like spring up really high. Yeah, some of the player bosses sometimes can get stuck in walls. Very rarely. I wonder if maybe if it's a frame rate thing, where if like you skip a frame, if the game skips a frame at like the worst time, then they end up clipping into a wall or something. Syntax. Yeah, the secret level used to be a lot harder, but we have since added a lot more hiding spots. Because I admit it can be kind of annoying to go through all that again if you just want to get to the final boss. Yeah, I want to do a racing game next, Nighthawk. Of course, yes, that is the big challenge, isn't it? Because you make a racing game and it's pretty much expected that it's going to have multiplayer. Like, it wouldn't feel right if it didn't have multiplayer. And of course, if you have a game that's multiplayer, then it is expected that it will be online multiplayer as well. So it would be not only our first racing game, but it would be our first like in-house multiplayer game, not counting Pedal Crash, because that was a different team. And it would also be our first online game. So yeah, it's gonna be a challenge to brush up on how to do that sort of thing, but I'm up for it. With FE2, are there any updates incoming? You know, I have thought about maybe like adding like a few more items at some point, maybe as like a celebration for the console releases. I don't know. I'll think about it. Because there are a few items that were left out of the original release that you can add back in with like mods, but they don't quite work. So maybe we can put in a little work to make them work. I think my biggest priority in terms of like extra items that we could add for the console version is the mirror lens, which was an item that was going to flip the screen horizontally, so you could get kind of a new perspective in the levels that you have played before. But there are a few glitches with it. that we couldn't figure out how to address. So we had to leave it out of the final game. But if we can figure out a way, I think that'd be fun to add as in an update. Yeah, there's a few other items too, like the star fragment, which would have made special attacks for your specific character more powerful or longer lasting. Oh, thank you, Syntax and Dre, for the bird god redeem. What? A ton of firsts, but it'll be super cool if you nail it all. Thank you, Anne. Good luck with that, Advance. Thank you, real person. Oh. Guess who's awake? And who is now pawing at my computer chair for attention. Okay, now she's licking my ankles because she wants me to pay attention to her. Hi, Paige. Hi, Paige. Pretty girl. and she's doing the thing where she's wagging her tail so hard that her entire body moves back and forth. Like, so she's just wiggling like a worm because her tail is so big and it's wagging so hard. Lego butts. Lego butts. Well, hello, princess. Did you enjoy your beauty nap? Did you enjoy your beauty nap, princess? Hi. Hi. Come on. Come on. Jump up on mommy's lap. Hi. Come on. Come on. You can do it. She won't do it. Alright, hold on a few minutes, Paige, okay? I'll let you on in a little bit. Speaking of online, you think it's extremely funny that Pelcrash has rollback netcode? Yeah! I think it's really awesome. Yeah, Nova did a really good job assisting with that. And it's really cool that how that has facilitated like a sort of like competitive scene for the game. Oh, thank you for the hydration reminder. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sippy time. Ah. Okay, good. Puppy. Also, what about permanent physical copies of Freedom Planet 2 appearing in all stores? Maybe that will get more sales sometimes, and the limited run could have a unique box art, extra more stuff along with the art book. Yes, we are planning on having physical copies. That is something that I want to discuss with our publisher for the console versions. I would love to make that happen. I want to make that happen. I think it's not, I don't think it's a question of if, but when. Puppies! Oh, thank you, Just Small Wolf, for the bird guy redeem. Wah. Competitive online. Nice. Okay, alright, I'll have to let the princess out. I'll be back in a little bit. I'm back. Come back. Shibat, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, while I let Princess Paige out, I went and got some herbal syrup, so that helps smooth my throat a little bit. Oh, it's so nice out right now. I mean, it's kind of wet because it was raining this morning. But, oh, thank you, Just Small Wolf, for the bird guard redeem. Wah. I don't know, that never gets old. Should look into herbs or honey for your voice. Yeah, I would highly recommend it. I take this like Chinese cough syrup that was recommended to me by my voice acting friends. I like taking a spoonful of that and just like very slowly swallowing it. And it kind of like coats the inside of my throat. And other than that, I would recommend tea with honey as well. I honestly should be better about brewing a cup of tea before my Chatty Batty streams. Because I remember that helping quite a bit as well. You gotta start archiving the Wes so you can make a full wet ending. Yeah. Wah. Wah. Green tea. Yeah, I like green tea. I also really liked that cinnamon tea that I tried several streams ago. And wow, what was another one that I tried that I really liked? Oh yeah, vanilla. That spacey bat, but only when she says what. Yeah. Carol tea is best tea. Yeah. And then of course Corazon tea. Yeah, like that's something interesting that like each of the four main protagonists has either a first or last name that is flower themed. There is Sash Lilac, there is Carol T, there is Mila Bassett, and then there is Nira Lee, which surprisingly Nira is a type of flower. I did not know that when I named her Nira. And their dad, Mr. T. He must pity the fool who does not drink tea regularly. Oh yeah, an end of year highlight reel might be interesting. I think the big challenge is going to be actually going through the hours and hours of stream footage that I've recorded so far and finding the highlights. I wonder if there's like analytic tools that will tell you what the most popular moments are in each of your streams, so I could just like jump to those and see what they are. And then of course there's also like YouTube clips, well not YouTube, Twitch like clips by viewers. Some of them were kind of random, but that could also be a place that I could draw from. I have mad props to editors for streamers who like go through hours and hours of footage and find all the interesting bits and like throw them together in a video with funny special effects and stuff. Major kudos to the work that they do. Pity the fool. Nice. Torque, Spade, no. Introducing Freedom Planet 4.5's new playable character, Lilibri, the Wood Fairy. And she has dialogue, but it's just her saying pedal crash. Since she's a DLC character and can't otherwise react. Encouraging viewers to clip moments certainly helps. Oh yeah, yeah. I shall do that as well. If something like insane happens during a game that I'm playing. Oh my gosh, yeah. Like YouTube. I've seen some really creative like YouTube clip compilations of Twitch streams. Why is he called Brevin if you brev in the cold food and brev out hot eat the food? Well, you see, Brevin out food eats the hot. And because of that, he brevs hot, cold eat the food. How goes console porting? It's going quite well. Right now we're just kind of waiting on a few things that our publisher has to get sorted. But we're still making progress on it, and we should be ready to actually submit to Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft like sometime in the early spring, and then that should give us enough time to meet our release date for consoles in the summer. Does that go on the lore page? Nice. Porting games can be, like, it's pretty similar to how you would publish a game on Steam, except, okay, like, if you're at all familiar with how things go on Steam, like how you publish a game, imagine that, but every step needs to be reviewed by someone first, and that's how I would describe porting to consoles. Because you have to like make things a certain way. You have to portray the buttons of the console in a certain manner inside the game. You have to make sure that the terminology for the buttons are consistent, and you have to test it with the software development kit that they send you, and then of course you have to submit it to their QA team. Their QA team reviews it, makes sure that everything's working okay, and that everything matches their standards. And if not, they send it back to you, and then it takes another week or two. And then there's a bunch of marketing assets you have to prepare for their store pages and stuff. So you submit your images to them as well for the marketplace, and then they review that as well. So I would definitely recommend giving yourself a few months in advance, so that way you're not too disappointed if you spend weeks and weeks in the like going back and forth in the verification process. Because it makes sense that they have to do it that way, because like consoles are a lot more specific than like a PC marketplace. It's really interesting how like there's a fan wiki for the Free Plan series. It's really cool. Yeah, there is kind of an unofficial like document outlining like various aspects of the lore that we've thought about, but that is also outdated, I think. Well, it wasn't technically made by us, but it was made by one of the staff members of the Discord server to kind of provide like fan creators with a quick reference. Oh, sippy time. Yeah, I'm not even sure what's on the other half of Planet Avalis. But it's nice to keep that in the bag in case we want to think of something else. Because it technically isn't anything until we make it something. And even if we don't do anything with the other side of Avalis, I think it'd be fun to just kind of like leave it up to interpretation. Yeah. Porting an old game to new consoles, it depends on whether or not you still have the old source code, and like what format it's in, like what software it was made with. Because there are like games that were decades old that have been recently ported to new consoles without a problem. One example of that I can think of is Star Fox 2, which was officially released by Nintendo 20 years after the game was finished. Which, the history of that is very fascinating to me. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's so cool that they actually released it. Paige, what you barking at? What you barking at? Oh, what you barking? Yeah, like, I never thought it would happen. I thought it was just canned for good. But yeah, you never know what studios could be hiding in their vaults. I mean, I'm surprised that, like... I'm surprised and grateful that they still keep the source code for, like, old unreleased stuff. Because, like, physical media can deteriorate over time. So it's really cool that, like, 20 years later, they still had it. Paige is growling at me again. What do you want, princess? What? She's just staring at me. What you staring at? What you want? Oh, hello, white people. Why? Hello, welcome. We're just winding down for the day. We just had a chill Chatty Batty stream. Oh yeah, I really enjoyed my Halloween. Like, it was more low-key compared to last year. Like, I didn't really go to a party or anything. But, we got a couple of trick-or-treaters. So that was nice. I threw on one of my lovely, velvet witch costumes. And, our decoration... I bet it was our new pumpkin decorations. Because I got the Home Depot, like, 8-foot stack of pumpkins. But, like, it's customizable, so you can take the pumpkins off the stack and, like, lay them in a row, which is what we did. But they're nice and big, and then we another thing we did was we had some bales of hay that we put like real pumpkins on, so it was like a whole big pumpkin patch in front of our house. It was fun. But yeah, next year, hopefully next Halloween, I'll have a little more energy and I can actually have like a proper like Halloween style stream. Because I didn't really get to play any scary games or spooky games. Yeah, I just wasn't feeling it last week. Just wanted a break. And I was going through some stuff emotionally. In terms of still coming to terms with the fact that Freedom Planet 2 is behind me now, and I just felt like I had it's just like a feeling of emptiness, like going from working on that project a few hours a day every day for 7 years to like it being done and me not knowing what to do with that free time anymore. Yeah, it was surreal. Hello, Jane Werner. Welcome. You just want to say congrats on FU2. It's such a great game and it's so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm so glad that everybody's having fun with it and stuff. What breed is my dog? I have 2 dogs. They're both Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. The older one is a boy named Sammy. He's a tricolor, and actually his 6th birthday is coming up soon, I think. Yeah, November 12th. So less than a week from now. And then the younger one is 2 years old. Her name's Paige, and she's like a black and brown color. Yeah, they're such sweet beans. I love them so much. I think you might feel that way when you finish uni. Yeah. Like, any major lifestyle change like that, like if you've been in a habit for a really long time, it can feel bittersweet. Like, I kind of felt that way after I graduated from high school. And, like, it was so surreal being at, like, a graduation party. Like, we went to one of the local colleges, and, like, they had, like, a bunch of games and stuff there and a banquet of food. And, like, my entire graduating class, we all got to hang out together one last time before we all went our separate ways in life. So that felt bittersweet. It's kind of a similar feeling to how I feel about Freedom Planet 2 finally being done. It's the end of an era, in a sense. Oh, thank you for the hydration reminder. Sippy time. I did kind of feel that way too with the original Freedom Planet, but I feel like it was less intense because I was only working on Freedom Planet 1 for 3 years instead of 7. Ear sketches, thank you. So nice. Yeah, like, of course, Freedom Planet 1, I kind of had my own, I had like a different kind of issue with like my health and stuff because I crunched like super harder than I should have to get it out when I wanted it to release. So yeah, I made it a point not to do that again, and that's partly why Freedom Planet 2 took as long as it did. But also because of like the pandemic, like dragging everything down. So yeah, like a lot has changed since Freedom Planet 2 started development in 2015, and it was the one constant through all of that. Not end of an era though. Y'all decided not to do that. Yeah. You saw fan art of Mila hugging my dog? Oh, awesome. I vaguely remember that. I think she was hugging Sammy, like holding him. And that was before Paige was born. Yeah, like I remember doing a documentary. Like, I remember providing commentary for a documentary on YouTube about Freedom Planet's development. And, like the documentary kind of went over how, like, I almost got, like, really severe heart problems because of how badly I was crunching. And looking back on it, I probably should have gone to the hospital, but I didn't. Because I didn't want to spend money on it. But, yeah, it's fine. I'm fine. Thankfully, there was no long-term damage or anything like that. Glad you were able to make it through. Thank you. Yeah, I'm fine now. Oh, pet hugs. Yeah, that experience kind of formed my, like, personal anti-crunch mindset in terms of like development stuff. And I mean, like, a certain level of crunch near the end of a game's development is unavoidable, I feel, but you can do a lot to mitigate it. Especially with the setup that we had, where we had like one of the things that I made sure to do for the sequel's development was to have more than one programmer who like knew how to work with the engine, because the big problem with the first game is that I was the only one who really knew how anything worked. And like, well, I could have trained others to like, I could have trained others in how it worked, but that should have been done like way before its release date. So at the time, like I pretty much had no option except to handle the majority of it myself. Oh, thank you, Slacks, for the gifted sub. Oh, Paige. She's growling again. 19 gift subs. Wow. Thank you very much for your loyalty. Thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Goshak made the art with Mila and Sammy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember him. I hope he's doing okay. Because, like, he kind of fell off the internet a few years ago, as far as I could tell. What's the funniest thing one of your dogs has done? I actually, like, a picture's worth 1,000 words. I don't have it on my current PC, but I took a picture of Sammy after his first bath, and he's got that 1,000-yard stare, and his eyes are like look so bulged out when his hair's wet. It's so funny. Like, he looked like he was seeing through time. Like, what am I doing with my life now? Oh my gosh, I'll have to find. Actually, Sammy has a Twitter page. Like, my dogs have a Twitter page, if you can believe it. Twitter.com Sammy_doggo. You can follow him if you want. But somewhere in there, like very early on, is a retweet from my personal account of him after his first bath. But yeah, I use that Twitter account specifically for posting dog photos. It's been a while, but I think they're due for a groom. I usually take photos of them right after they've been groomed and like had a haircut and stuff. Now that I have become clean, things will never be the same. Yeah. We actually just bathed them a couple days ago. Sammy especially was in need of one because his paws were all stained. They're still kind of stained, but it's not as bad now. Yes. Clean doggos. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna call it a day. Because Paige wants further attention, and also I haven't eaten lunch yet, so I'm gonna go make myself a sandwich or something. Thanks for the stream. Best wishes and have a great day. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Ambi and Rob and Slax and just follow everybody who stopped by. It's good to be back. I had a refreshing weeks-long break. I'm still gonna take it easy right up until my formal debut. Oh, thank you, Argo, for the bird guard redeem. I'll give you one last wet. Whack. Okay, so Lunasis comes out on Thursday, but I need to take Thursday off for other reasons, so I will be back Friday, and I'm gonna play it, and it might take me like 2 or 3 days, but I want to play through it on stream because I really like the game, and I wish the dev the best of luck with the release. Alright, thank you so much everybody for stopping by. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye!